It's been a minute. Hi guys, it's Caitlin. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be making the very long-awaited GameStop video. If you follow me on Instagram, I don't think I ever mentioned it on here, but I'm not sure. If you follow any of my other social medias, you will remember I mentioned that I got a job at GameStop. I was very, very open about that. I was very excited, but I only worked there for one day. And I tell people that and they're like, what happened? Like, why? And that's a great question. I would be curious too, but it's just too much to type out, and figured I would do a little story time. So if you want to hear about that and why I only worked at GameStop for one day, then keep on watching. Super quickly, before I get started, I just want to put out a couple of quick disclaimers. The first is that I am not bashing GameStop as a company. I'm not saying anything negative about GameStop or the people that I worked with. Everyone's experience is completely different working for basically every company, and I personally know in my personal life and online so many people from around the country who work for GameStop and love it and had nothing. It does not compare at all. So I don't want this to discourage anyone from applying at GameStop or anything. GameStop always hires like really awesome people. I feel like that's their main thing, is like you have to be confident, know about video games, and be like a chill person to get hired. So GameStop employees are like my favorite. So it shouldn't be a bad experience. I'm just telling you what happened to me just for the sake of telling the story because so many people are asking. And I also just wanted to quickly say that this was my first like job. Obviously I do this stuff online. I run an Etsy shop and everything, and my income is online. This was my first like go in real job. So I wasn't really used to any of this. And yeah, that's really it. That's all I wanted to say. So I'm gonna tell you what happened now. So this was about October, right before October, September of last year. I knew that people were hiring for seasonal positions. So I saw that GameStop was hiring for seasonal positions, and I was like, oh my gosh, like my whole life is video games, so I'm gonna apply at GameStop. So I applied, and then I actually got a call from them, and I was really excited. I'm gonna give the manager a random name. We're gonna name him Jim. That is not his real name, not even close. Well, first I went in and I asked if they were hiring, and I talked to Jim, and I told him that like I make YouTube videos and I do all of this stuff, and that I want to get a real job because my whole thing was like, yeah, I make money online, but I want to get out there and get like the personal experience of like talking to people and everything, which I'm still trying to do, but this whole corona thing. I asked Jim if they're hiring. He's like, we need people bad, and he told me to apply online, so I did. And then he called me, and then when I came in for my interview, he remembered me and he was like, you're the one who does YouTube and everything. I'm like, yes. So the interview took like 2 seconds. He basically just talked to me the whole time. He barely asked me any questions. It was like obvious that he was just gonna hire me. It took 2 seconds, and he asked if I could start in October, so I was like yes. And I was supposed to be working only 6 to 8 hours weekly, which is like nothing obviously, but I was fine with that at the time because I just needed to build a resume. I figured that was a good way to ease my way into, you know, being 21 and never having worked a real job like that. So I gladly accepted. He gave me a date in October because that's when the seasonal period starts. I didn't have a personal contact for him. I had to call the store and listen to the whole like, hi, you've reached GameStop of where you can pre-order this game and blah blah blah. Press this button to speak to an associate, and then I'd call that, and then I wouldn't even be able to talk to him because he'd be busy or in a meeting or something. So I didn't have a direct contact with him, which made it pretty difficult. It was about 2 days before that date that I was supposed to be starting, and I haven't heard from him yet, so I was just getting a little worried and concerned. So I called and I was just asking like if he has any idea when he wants me to start or whatever. So now this guy was so nice and like chill, and I was really excited to work with him, and I feel so bad like talking about him at all. He almost sounded like he forgot about me in a way, like kind of frantic, like he found a shift for me. And then so that day comes and I go in and everything is pretty fine. There's one thing that I can't say, like I just can't. I worked my shift and I was pretty nervous. I mean, it's my first time ever doing anything like that, but I did find he kept telling me like I was doing great, told me that I did great when I was leaving, and he was so nice and helpful. Just super like laid back, chill person, and I thought that was going to be really exciting because I thought that would be, you know, fun to work with, and he wasn't like intimidating or anything, so I didn't feel like worried or anything like that. But anyway, I worked, obviously I was in the back doing like the training for about an hour, and then I came out and I worked the like cash register and everything for about 4 hours. It was so dead. It was so dead that day. It was the night before the release of the last 2K game. I don't remember what it was, but a lot of people were coming in to pick up their pre-orders at 9 or 8:30, whenever it was that they released it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, except for like one thing that was just kind of like, what? But I can't talk about that. I'm sorry, I know that's so annoying, but I genuinely can't. But what happened was, I left, he said, you know, like, great job. He was just genuinely like being so nice and everything. And then I never heard from him. Like, I literally never heard from him. I was supposed to be working 6 to 8 hours weekly, and I literally just never heard from him. I tried calling, I think 3 times, and like I said, I had no personal contact, so I couldn't like just get a hold of him. I did end up hearing from him, but like maybe 2 months or 3 months later. So yeah. That's what happened. Again, like, I was even talking to people who work in other stores who messaged me and were like, I just got a seasonal job too. They had complete different situations for me. Like, they had contact with their manager and they love it, and a couple of them still work for GameStop. They love it. So again, this is just my experience. I'm not just saying that because I don't want any kind of repercussions, like, genuinely. But yeah, it's just a little weird when you don't really know like how any of that's supposed to go because you're new to all of it, and you just don't, there's a lack of communication, because I worry about that kind of stuff. Like, if I don't know what's happening, like, it gives me such bad anxiety, and I have to know what's happening, and there's just such a lack of communication for me, and I had no idea what was happening. Like, I was always confused, like, what's happening. So that's what happened. So yeah, if you were curious as to what happened, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, please don't let this discourage you from working at GameStop. It's definitely a really cool place to work. You get to work with really awesome people and be surrounded by games all day, talk about games. Who doesn't want that? Because I doubt any of this would happen to you. So let me know in the comments if anything like this has ever happened to you. Not at GameStop, just like in general. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, or give it a thumbs down if you didn't like it. And if you'd like to see more videos from me, you can subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. So yeah, that's all for today. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video.